Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Just a quick announcement to go ahead and follow me on patreon.com/bow-and-arrow-tarot to be part of the draw for the Dreams of Gaio tarot deck giveaway. This deck is going to be given away on August 15th by a random draw of all of my patrons over on Patreon. And all I ask for is just $1 a month donation from you all on that site to help me be able to get more of these tarot decks and oracle decks and do more unboxings and reviews and giveaways. All right. But for right now, thank you so much and on to the video. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be looking at the weekly reading for the sign of Capricorn. All right, Capricorns, we're going to get right into it. A little bit different for the weeklies, for those of you who are regulars on my channel. This week we are going to pull out 3 angel oracles. We're also going to pull out 3 animal spirit cards. And then we're going to do a series of spreads or reads to look at multiple scenarios that could be happening for you this week, Capricorn. Instead of looking at one main event, we're going to look at multiple scenarios and multiple relationships that you could or may be resonating with for this week. All right, so let's just get your 3 cards out. All right, we have first off, honeymoon. Beautiful. It's come out a couple times. Release your ex. Release your ex. Time to let go. And heart-to-heart conversations also has come up a few times during these weekly readings. Seems this week is really a lot about going on about communication. A lot of relationships are about coming to terms with certain issues, talking about issues, right? This week is a real talking week for us. Let's pull out your animal spirit cards though and see where we're at. The type of animal spirits or elements that you'll be working with or that you'll be dealing with this week. Now, you may resonate with these animal spirit oracles yourself, or they may describe someone that you're dealing with or the personality of someone that you're interacting with this week. So take it as it resonates. We have bat energy, beautiful air energy. Unicorn has come out once before already for the weeklies, right? This is elemental ether, spirit element. And the frog, again, coming out. Frog is the great rainmaker, right? All right, so let's just talk about these cards before we get into the spread with the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. So the bat is interesting. The bat comes out at nighttime, right? The bat is harbinger of transformation and change. The bat, they hunt at night, and you know, they hunt by the moonlight, right? So this is kind of a moon there, which is quite hard to see in the camera, but there is a moon there, a full moon. And so the bat is able to see things that other people are not. Bat energy is indicative of a little extra sensory perception, perhaps, or just a heightened sense of perception, a heightened ability to see things that are normally hidden to most people, things to do with feelings, communication. This is an air element, so we're talking about a quick wit. You know, the bat is ingenious, is able to not so much feel things that other people aren't able to feel, but very much able to kind of read between the lines, right? That energy is very much able to kind of strategize and think about other scenarios that people don't think about, right? Now, unicorn is coming in as well. The unicorn is interesting because unicorn talks about having a little bit of faith, okay? So the unicorn is associated with the 7th chakra, which is the third eye chakra. The 6th chakra, which is the third eye chakra. The 7th chakra is the crown. But the 6th chakra, the third eye, you know, this is where the unicorn extends its horn, right? So it indicates a heightened sense of third eye perception, right? But the thing here also is that the unicorn is kind of a mythological creature. It begs fantasy, you know. Do you believe in the existence of them or not? You know, this sort of thing. And it reminds us, you know, this energy reminds us that in order to connect with the divine, in order to open up our third eye and to be open to sort of mystical experiences, right? There has to be a little bit of faith there, you know. You have to believe. You know, you have to have some faith in what you're connecting with. And so, for instance, like when we say to ourselves, you know, listen to your intuition. Sometimes people say, well, how do I know my intuition is right? How do I know that voice inside of me is right? Or how do I know that this feeling that I'm getting to do something a certain way or to make a certain decision, right? How do I know that this is coming from a place of, is coming from someplace within me? Or how do I know that this is really coming from a spiritual realm where my spirit, my soul is connected? How do I know these things? Well, none of us really truly know these things. To a certain degree, we have to have a little bit of faith. Okay, and so if you're trying to expand your spiritual horizons, sometimes it takes having a belief, a bit of faith. Not everything can be proved. Not everything can be kind of explained, right? And so we talk about faith in magic, faith in yourself, having faith in your own abilities, your own spiritual abilities. And frog energy. So frog energy is coming in is alchemical symbol for water. Okay, so the frog is one of those earthly water elements, right? It's a very earthly creature, but constantly surrounded by water, always brings water. This is the great rainmaker. The frog brings purification. The frog brings healing and cleansing, right? Wherever it goes with the waters that it brings. So the frog is very much about helping others heal. Oftentimes the frog can be a counselor, a healer, or a therapist. One thing though with frog energy is that these type of individuals who are identifying with this spirit animal can get really worn down. Oftentimes the frog is so busy healing everyone else around them that they forget that they too need healing and rest and rejuvenation. So sometimes the frog can really become worn out, stressed out, worn out, dried out in a way, right? And it has to be rejuvenated just as much as anyone else. So we've got air, ether, and water. Three very different animal spirits for you guys. Some of you are making a leap of faith as far as spiritual expansion. Some of you are going through a healing process or dealing with healers. All right? And some of you are going through dealing with deception, seeing through deception, seeing things that other people haven't necessarily seen, maybe coming across information that up until now has been hidden from you. We're going to go right into your spreads now, Capricorn, for this week, August 4th to the 11th. All right. So first reading out is Nine of Cups, King of Pentacles, and Nine of Swords. Okay, so nines always indicate inherently in all the 9 cards is a bit of loneliness, a bit of understanding that to get to the next step, you have to get outside of yourself, perhaps. You have to give of yourself. You have to make a connection with others. 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment. It tends to indicate also, though, people who have gotten everything they've always desired, all of their wishes, everything's kind of worked out in their favor, yet they haven't had that kind of total bliss, yet they aren't really truly happy. There isn't a true connection that they have with people. A lot of these wishes have been kind of shallow, you know, wishing for good, you know, wishing for shallow things in the sense of, you know, I have a house, I have good relationships, I have friends, I have this, I have that. But do you have a really close, you know, real connection with somebody? Oftentimes, Nine of Cups talks about that. It talks about the fact that despite you feeling as though you've gotten everything you've ever wanted, you still miss out on that deep connection. You still miss out on that person. And so some of you are kind of dealing with that right now, right? That feeling of still not being able to connect. Could be that some of you are dealing with an ex, right? And that ex is standing in the way of your true happiness. Some of you have King of Pentacles up as well, and so some of you are dealing with a person who is very obstinate. You may be dealing with an earthy kind of person, a person who has a lot of money, probably throws their weight around, right? And so it could be that some of you are very much, you may be dealing with, you may be involved with this King of Pentacles, and they put you in the lap of luxury. You have all of these things, right? You have all of this things that anyone could ever wish for in terms of a good status, a home, and clothes, vacations, and all of that, right? This nice life under kind of the auspices of this person, yet you're still quite unhappy. And so you're feeling a lot of Nine of Swords energy. Nine of Swords is worrying, anxiety. Something is going on here that is keeping you from your total Ten of Cups with this person. And it could be that you're dealing with bad energy in terms of either you're embodying the bat because you're beginning to see things that perhaps have been hidden up until now, right? So perhaps it's time to have heart-to-heart conversation with this individual. You're definitely, something is going on here with this person that you're finding out about, and you're having a lot of anxiety. And as well, it's reminding you as well that for a long time, you haven't really gotten very close to this individual anyway. And so I think for a lot of you, the penny is starting to drop with this new information about who you're really dealing with. Next read up, we have Six of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Devil card. So yeah, some of you, yeah, you're having a really great period right now. You're having a bit of a victory. You know, you could be coming off of having some success at work or at home, right? This could be a honeymoon as well. Six of Wands could very well be a honeymoon where everybody's just very happy for you. You guys are just very happy. You may have come together with someone recently and you guys are having that celebration, right? But there's also this Queen of Cups here, interestingly enough. Now, this could be somebody who you're dealing with who is still wanting to share their emotions with you, share their feelings with you. This could be your ex. This could be an ex that you're dealing with, right? Because interestingly enough, you also have devil energy. So devil energy is almost like, in this case, I want to say, it explains a dynamic where you keep going back to this person. They keep calling you back. You're having a victory now almost with someone else maybe, right? But then again, this ex, you know, when they show up and they get in their full Queen of Cups, meaning, you know, their heart is on their sleeve and they're pouring on all the emotions, it's as if they pull you right back into this kind of almost codependent relationship with them. Some of you definitely need to release this ex. If this is you, if you resonate with this and this is your ex who keeps coming back and they kind of keep winning you over, because right now you're having a really good time, I think. For some of you, this ex always comes back when you're doing well or you're having a little victory. It's like they come back and they drag you right back to where they're at, right? And before you know it, you're exhibiting this kind of side of devil energy, which is like that codependence, that addiction to them, you know, before it all turns sour again. So be careful. Some of you, this is coming through for you this week. All right, so, oh wow, so this happened earlier for one of the other readings, got exactly the same cards, except Pentacles was right side up, which is quite interesting. So these cards here talk about, you have Page of Pentacles in reverse, Temperance, which is Sagittarius coming in, and the Hanged Man. Okay, so for some of you, a new endeavor is being stalled, right? Something's being stalled. It could be that you were about to start a new job, but there's something happened that stopped it. It could be that you were about to have this conversation with somebody about something very real about your relationships, but somehow or another something has kind of halted that. Some energy has come in and just stopped it from occurring. And so you're feeling very much right now like you're having to be temperate. You're having to hold in your emotions or balance your emotions because of it. It could be that somebody's really trying to interfere, right? They're trying to interfere with you and the moves that you're trying to make. Again, this could be an ex-partner energy coming in, because you have Hanged Man here. So this is someone coming in who's refusing to move forward. They're refusing to let go, right? And they're starting to cause some havoc in your life, okay, Capricorn? So for some of you, you definitely have to show temperance this week. Be careful that you don't lose your temper and get into trouble. But this is certainly a scenario that needs to be dealt with. This person is not going to let go. You have to let go of them, because this is very much let go, release your ex energy. Next up, we have Page of Swords, Five of Swords, and Three of Wands. So for some of you, yeah, you feel very much like you've had to, you've had a power struggle, you've had to battle in order to get your point across. You've had to have a lot of heart-to-heart conversations with people, but it feels almost as if, I don't know, I want to say for some of you, right, information has come in, right? The Page of Swords talks about information coming in, communication coming in. Again, I want to say that some kind of information or communication has been had, and I think you find out that this power struggle you've been dealing with, somebody hasn't been playing fairly, right? So somebody's been keeping things from you. Again, that energy talks about kind of seeing through deception, right? Somebody's been keeping things from you. They haven't been playing fairly with you, and you find this out this week, and you realize, wow, I can't believe this, like all this time, they've been lying to me. They haven't been playing fairly. They've known more about a scenario than I have. And you decide to kind of really turn your back on the whole kind of drama and look to the future. You have a lot of patience. You realize it's time to strategize and think about your next move, right? But you really, once you find out the truth of the nature of this power struggle that you've been having with somebody, it's like you completely let go. It's almost like this is the information that you needed to find out. Perhaps this is also another releasing your ex. Like, you find out something this week that is going to finally let you let go of this. And it could be just the truth, right? Something that you wouldn't believe. Before with unicorn, it's like having faith or belief, right? It might have been something that you didn't believe before, but now you have proof of, and you're so disgusted that you just turn your back and you start to think of the future, Capricorn. All right, so some of you have 8 of Swords, Sun, and Star, right? So some of you are also, again, this is all very toxic ex energy. Yes, 8 of Swords is my toxic ex or toxic current, whatever the case may be. This is my gaslighter card, my toxic individual, my victim card. This is a person who likes to play the victim, who likes to blame the world around them for all of their faults. Okay, but you get clarity. Again, you get clarity, and I think this bat animal spirit is really working hard this month with you, Capricorns, because it's bringing clarity, it's bringing in information on scenarios that up until now you really had no idea, you just didn't know the whole truth at all. And only the bat can come out into these very dark scenarios and kind of fly through and pick out the truth, right? And so you get clarity this month on this kind of individual, this toxic individual. And for some of you, it's kind of a dream come true, finally, a wish come true to release, right? You find out the right information that you needed to finally release yourself, and that is your star. That's your wish. That's what you've been wanting for a long time. And you do it in such a complete and utter way, you don't even turn around and worry about this person anymore. 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and Ace of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is certainly a money month, right? Excuse me, a money week. 7 of Pentacles talks about looking over all that you've accomplished. You may be reviewing your, who knows, you may be reviewing your accounts, your retirement, right? The things that you've accomplished, your money market accounts, etc. This is a very real kind of reevaluating of where you are financially and materially that's happening this week for you, right? And so you find out that, so for some of you, you find out that you are more stable than you thought you were. And for some of you, you realize that you need to foster more stability in your finances, right? And this week comes in a huge opportunity. I mean, this is as clear as day, So this week, for some of you Capricorns, this week is going to be very much a week of relationships to do with money, making money, your career, connections in your career, but specifically with the part of your career that brings in the finances, the funding, the sustenance, right? The actual cash. That area of your life you're going to be very busy with, reevaluating and kind of restructuring to build and create more stability. All right, so some of you have Knight of Cups, Queen of Discs, and 10 of Discs coming in. That's interesting. So some of you definitely have a beautiful heart-to-heart conversation happening with somebody about love. You have a Knight of Cups coming in. Knight of Cups comes in to sweep you off your feet, right? He comes in to be the perfect person, the perfect kind of date. But the thing with the Knight of Cups is the Knight of Cups isn't always sure of his feelings, right? From one day to like at the moment he's sure. So the moment he tells you he loves you, he means it. But the next day when he says he wants to leave, he means that as well. You know, it's not premeditated. It's just that his feelings really are that airy. You have to remember that knights represent air element, right? Knights are associated with the element of air. So here you have the airy element of water, which is cups, which is emotions. So you have a flightiness of emotions. You don't have a stability of emotions here, right? You have a person who's able to use their gift of gab to get your heart, right, to explain things, but in terms of, you know, commitment, longevity, and those type of things, that person, the Knight of Cups, really doesn't have it. Nevertheless, you have a really wonderful time, right? And for some of you, it could be very much like a honeymoon period, right? You're coming across as Queen of Pentacles, so you're very much taking care of business at home and the family, making sure the money is still coming in, making sure that everything you've worked for is still around. Queen of Pentacles also is the queen who really takes care of her body and her mind. She makes sure she's always fit. You know, she makes sure she grows old with grace and that sort of thing. And so you're feeling really beautiful in your Queen of Pentacles, especially with the attention of this Knight of Cups, right? And I want to say for some of you, this Knight of Cups and Queen of Pentacles, you guys are a perfect match. And this is very much a honeymoon period, okay? And this is not to say that they're going to leave you the next day. I said that about Knight of Cups because we notice about Knight of Cups and their flightiness. However, here it's just like if you're talking about a honeymoon and being together, this is very much the case that your person is just embodying Knight of Cups right now because they're wanting to be the most romantic and loving partner they can be right now to you. Ultimately, you both work towards a 10 of Pentacles, which is a legacy, right? You guys are both working towards a legacy, home, heart, health, family, right? Having everything. This is the couple. When you get 10 of Pentacles, it's like you're part of a family or you're part of a power couple where you guys just make things happen financially as well. You're happy together. You work well together. But your dynamic brings with it this level of wealth in the real world, right? This level of stability in the real world. But 10s are also about completion and starting a new cycle. So for some of you, you are realizing that it's time now to start a new phase of your lives. And together, maybe. Certainly. But it needs to be a new phase of your lives. And sometimes when you do start this new phase, you don't have all of the abundance of the last phase because you're kind of like leaving this stage behind to kind of like forge a new path. And sometimes you have to be willing to accept that the money will not come with that. All right, we're going to do one more. Queen of Wands, Ace of Swords, and Two of Swords. Yeah, for some of you, absolutely, you have gone through a very difficult, transformative period recently. You're a lot stronger than you used to be, Capricorn. You certainly have a lot more self-esteem, and you have a lot more dreams than you had before that you know you can attain. You know you can get these dreams, right? But most recently, and I believe this week, some information comes in that is like, wow, it's good information. It gives you a bit of a vindication in a certain area, or you feel a bit of a victory. But now, because of this information, you're having to make a big decision and you just don't know how to make it. Okay, this may be a decision between two different types of lives you can now choose to live, careers, etc., moving, whatever the case may be. This is unfortunate. I love this spread here because this has happened to me quite a few times. It's unfortunate. It's like you get what you need coming in, you get the victory coming in, but it just ends up opening up so many other possibilities, right? That it ends up becoming like, oh man, I didn't think that this was going to knock onto this. Now I have to make a decision. You know, do I leave my home where I'm happy and, you know, and move out in the world on an adventure, or do I stay home? You know, just as an example. So this is quite interesting that this happens to you this week, Capricorn. This could also be a business. So for instance, this could be a notice or information about a business arrangement that comes in, right? And it could be that you know, maybe you wrote off all the business opportunities, right? And you forgot about this one opportunity that you had out there floating, and you're now, you know, and so recently you've been making other kind of plans to move in a different direction, and then boom, this information comes in, and it's like, shit, you know, I really wanted this, but I didn't think it was going to come. I've already started making moves in this direction, but now here it comes. What do I do? And so this is the example I'm talking about with this Two of Swords. Because certainly the two decisions are about something that is very near and dear to your heart, Capricorn. All right, I'm going to call it. This is the weekly reading for Capricorns for August 4th to the 11th. It's a new format that I'm trying with multiple scenarios. Hopefully one of them will resonate with you guys out there. For my regulars, please go ahead and sound off below in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this new spread. Do you like it? Don't you like it? What, you know, etc., etc. But apart from that, if you're new to my channel and this resonated with you, please go ahead and like and subscribe, share the video with other Capricorns that you feel may get something out of it. And for the rest, I'm just going to say I love you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.